Hello friends, this video on motion in a straight line part 10 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exams. Please make sure that you have watched part 1 to part 9 before going ahead with part 10. So, as we have studied before, the velocity is given by or velocity is determined from the slope of position time graph. That is, slope of position time graph gives the value of velocity. Position time graph is same as displacement time graph. So now, before we start plotting the position time graph, let us make certain basic things clear. Here we are talking of velocity, which is a vector quantity, right? Now, velocity being a vector quantity will have components along x-axis as well as along y-axis. Why I am telling this is because the scenario which we took just in the previous slide, there we have motion along x-axis as well as along y-axis. That is, we had the scenario something like this. This was Ronnie's home. From home he travelled to church. From church he travelled to school, and from school he travelled to the playground. That means when he was travelling from his home to the church, the velocity was only in the x direction. There was no component of velocity along y direction. Similarly, only along x direction. Similarly, when he was travelling from the church to his school, the velocity was only along the y direction. And similarly, again, when he was travelling from the school to the playground, the velocity or the displacement, you can say, was along the x direction. But this was again in the negative x direction. Correct? So before we plot the graph, just make these things clear in your mind. That is, velocity being a vector quantity, it involves magnitude as well as direction. Now when I talk of direction, we denote velocity as in this way. So when I talk of direction, in this case, the travel of Ronnie from home to church, it includes displacement only in the x direction, that is positive x direction. The displacement from church to school includes motion along positive y direction, and from S to P, that is to the playground, it is along minus x direction. Now keeping these points in mind, we will try to plot the position time graph. In case of position time graph, we will take time along x-axis and position along y-axis. Now since we have two different components of velocity, that is along x-axis as well as along y-axis, therefore for position also we will have similar things. There will be one component of position or displacement along x-axis and another component along y-axis. So how will we plot position time graph? We will plot two separate graphs for position, for the change of position with time along x-axis and the change of position with time along y-axis. So in the first case, let us plot the position time graph along x-axis. So let us plot the position time graph along the x-axis. Just remember the scenario which we discussed. The scenario was, initially it travelled from home to church, that was 1 kilometer distance in 1 hour, right? So it travelled 1 kilometer in 1 hour, something like this. Fine. So this was along x-axis. Now what about the y-axis? Let us plot the y-axis also simultaneously. So along this x-axis we have time, and along y-axis we have y component of position. Here we have the x component of position. So till t is equal to 1, we have, that is 1 hour. Here we have taken time in hour. and the position is taken in kilometers. And the same applies here as well. Now, from the initial position, that is from home, let us consider the origin to be home. So, from the initial position for the first 1 hour, along the x-axis, there is a motion uniformly. That is, there is a displacement of 1 kilometer along x-axis. But there is no motion along y-axis. During this first 1 hour, that means till 1 hour, there is no motion along the y-axis. Let us say this is 1. So this will be 0. Fine. Now let us look at the second case, where it is, after that it is moving from the church to the school. When it is moving from church to school, there is motion along positive y direction and there is no motion along the x-axis. That means for the x-axis, for the x component rather, this will be constant. That means it reached till this point, then it will become constant. Constant for how much time? Now in this case, it travelled 2 kilometers in 2 hours. That means this will be constant for 2 hours. So let us say it is constant till this point. So this point will become yes. And in this case, there is a motion along the positive y direction. So let us say if this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So in this case, there will be a motion in this way. So we saw that for 2 hours, it travelled along the positive y direction. So its position increased to this point. So that means this point would be 2 kilometers. Fine. Now after that, it again moved in negative x direction and there was no component along y direction. That means again y will become 0. Whereas in case of the x direction, it will move in the negative x direction and it travelled 3 kilometers in 2 hours. That means it will travel 3 kilometers. So let us plot it in the negative side also. Suppose if this is 1, this would be -1, this would be -2, correct? So from after this, it will travel in the negative direction. So it needs to travel 3 kilometers from this point. So let us try to see. This would be, this is 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So this point in 2 hours again. That means if this is 4, this is 5, then corresponding to this point, it should travel till here. So if we join this, so this is how the motion will look like when we plot the position time graph. Now we already know from our previous knowledge that the slope of a position time graph gives the value of velocity. In the previous slide, we calculated the values of velocity manually. Here from the graph, we will try to calculate the value of velocity. Seeing these graphs, let us try to calculate V1. V1 is corresponding to this motion from H to C. For corresponding to this motion, this will correspond to V1 and this will correspond to V1. For V1, we would see that Vx will be equal to the slope from this graph. So that slope will come out to be y by x. That y by x will be 1 by 1. That is equal to 1 kilometer per hour. And Vy will be equal to 0. Because we can see that for corresponding to this motion, it is overlapping with the x-axis. So Vy will be equal to 0. Therefore, we find that the value of V1 will be equal to 1 kilometer per hour, which is exactly what we got when we solved it manually. Now let us calculate V2, that is motion for, that is the value of average velocity for this motion. Now the value in this motion would be Vx. In this case, Vx will be equal to 0 because it is a straight line parallel to the x-axis. So Vx will be equal to 0. And in this case, Vy will be equal to the slope of this line, which is equal to y by x. So in this case, let us suppose if this is theta, so this Vy will be equal to tan theta, which is equal to y by x, and y will be equal to 2 and x will be equal to 3 minus 1 because this is x. So this will be equal to 2 by 2, which is equal to 1 kilometer per hour. Therefore, we find that V2 is equal to 1 kilometer per hour. Now let us calculate V3. Again for V3, we will have Vy is equal to 0 because it is overlapping with the x-axis. So Vy will be equal to 0, and in this case Vx will be equal to the slope for this line. Now when we try to calculate the slope for this line, we see that the y component comes out to be 1, 2, 3. So the y component would be 3 divided by the x component would be 5 minus 3. This would be the x component, which is equal to 5 minus 3. So it comes out to be 1.5 kilometer per hour. So this is equal to V3. So we find that the values which we obtain for V1, V2 and V3 from the graph is exactly the same as we obtained manually in the previous slide. Now in this graph, you can very clearly understand the difference between the values of instantaneous velocity and average velocity. When I talked of average velocity, I talked about a velocity between any 2 points. For example, I talked of velocity between this point and this point. I talked of average velocity between this point and this point. Similarly, between this point and so on. But when I say instantaneous velocity, I mean the value of velocity at a particular instance. So whenever we talk of average velocity, it is total displacement by total time taken. Whenever we talk of instantaneous velocity, it is the value of velocity at any particular instant of time. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.